Welcome back to Color Vistas. Today, we're answering a question that many people new to sublimation have asked. Can you use an iron for sublimation printing? If you don't have a heat press, you might wonder if an iron can be a good alternative for sublimation. In this video, we'll explore whether it's possible, what to consider, and any tips to make it work if you're in a pinch. Let's dive in and see if an iron can handle sublimation. To understand whether an iron can be used for sublimation, let's start by looking at what sublimation printing requires. Sublimation is a process where sublimation ink turns into gas when exposed to high heat and bonds with polyester fibers or polymer-coated surfaces. This reaction requires a consistent, high temperature and even pressure over the entire design area. A heat press is typically used for sublimation because it provides both the steady, high heat and the pressure needed for a complete transfer. Unlike a heat press, a household iron isn't designed to apply heat and pressure evenly over a large area. Irons are designed to move across fabric rather than pressing it down in one spot, which can cause uneven heat distribution. Most irons also don't reach the high temperatures needed for sublimation. Sublimation usually requires around 380 degrees to 400 degrees, and many household irons only reach up to around 300 degrees to 350 degrees. These differences mean that an iron may not give you the same vibrant, lasting results as a heat press. However, there are some situations where you might want to try using an iron for sublimation. Maybe you're working on a small project or trying out sublimation for the first time and don't yet have access to a heat press. While an iron isn't ideal, there are ways to make it work with a few adjustments and careful handling. Let's go over some steps and tips for using an iron for sublimation, so you know what to expect and how to get the best results possible. Before starting, gather all your materials: sublimation paper, sublimation ink, the item you want to sublimate, and of course, your iron. For this to work at all, you'll need an item with a high polyester content, for fabrics, or a polymer-coated surface, for hard items. Remember, sublimation only bonds with polyester or polymer-coated surfaces, so avoid cotton or other natural fibers, as the ink won't adhere properly. The first step is to preheat your iron. Set it to the highest temperature setting, typically labeled as the cotton or linen setting. If your iron has a steam function, make sure to turn it off, as steam can interfere with the sublimation process and cause blotching or uneven transfer. Let the iron heat up fully for a few minutes before starting. Keep in mind that the maximum temperature of an iron might still fall short of the ideal range for sublimation, which may affect the vibrancy and durability of the final result. Next, prepare your design on sublimation paper. Ensure that your design is mirrored so that it appears correctly when transferred. Print your design using sublimation ink, and once it's printed, place it face down on your polyester fabric or polymer-coated item. Secure the sublimation paper with heat-resistant tape to prevent any movement. Since irons require you to apply manual pressure, securing the paper helps avoid smudging or ghosting, which can happen if the design shifts during pressing. Now it's time to use the iron. Place a Teflon sheet or a piece of parchment paper over the sublimation paper to protect both the paper and your item from direct heat. With firm pressure, press the iron onto the sublimation paper, holding it in place for about 45 to 60 seconds. Unlike a heat press, you'll need to press each section of the design separately, moving the iron across the entire surface. Be careful not to slide the iron, as this can cause the ink to smear and result in a blurry design. Apply firm, even pressure, and try to keep each section pressed for the same amount of time to achieve the most consistent result possible. One thing to keep in mind is that using an iron for sublimation can lead to inconsistent colors. Since the iron doesn't distribute heat evenly, you may notice that some areas of the design are more vibrant than others, while some areas may appear faded. This is one of the main challenges with using an iron for sublimation, especially for larger designs or projects requiring uniform color. After pressing each part of the design, carefully lift the iron and remove the Teflon sheet or parchment paper. Allow the design to cool slightly, then peel back the sublimation paper to reveal your design. If done correctly, you should see a transferred design, but it may lack the vibrancy and sharpness you'd get with a heat press. While an iron can transfer the ink, it usually doesn't reach the full potential of Sublimation's vibrant colors and durability. If you're interested in improving your results, here are a few tips. For one, try working on smaller designs. Small designs are easier to transfer with an iron because they require less consistent heat across a wide area. Items like keychains, coasters, or small patches can be a good place to start. With small designs, you can control the pressure and heat more effectively, making it easier to achieve even colors. Another tip is to double-check the iron's temperature. Some irons have digital displays that show the exact temperature, but if yours doesn't, consider using a heat gun to measure the temperature of the iron's surface. Knowing the exact temperature can help you adjust your pressing time, which can make a difference in color vibrancy and durability. If the iron is too cool, you might need to press for a little longer to achieve a more complete transfer. However, if you're planning to do sublimation regularly, investing in a heat press is definitely worthwhile. A heat press provides consistent temperature and pressure, which are both essential for sublimation. With a heat press, you'll achieve vibrant colors, precise details, and a long-lasting bond that an iron can't fully replicate. Even a small, affordable heat press can make a big difference in your sublimation results compared to an iron. So, while you can use an iron for sublimation, it does have limitations. An iron may work for quick, small projects or when you're just experimenting with sublimation. But for professional quality results, a heat press is the way to go. An iron can give you a faded or inconsistent look, whereas a heat press ensures that your designs come out bold, vibrant, and long-lasting. In summary, while an iron can be used for sublimation in certain situations, it's not the ideal tool for high-quality, consistent results. If you're just testing out sublimation or working on a small, low-stakes project, an iron can work with a bit of patience. However, if you're serious about sublimation, a heat press will give you the best results every time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check the description for recommended sublimation products and resources to help you get started where applicable. And be sure to visit my website for more guides and tips on sublimation. Link is in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you've tried using an iron for sublimation. See you in the next video.